have been on a cooking journey these past few years, and I will have these random bursts of motivation where I will cook great, incredible meals, and it'll be great. We'll be having a fab, fun, fresh time. But one thing I've always struggled with is consistency. This human cannot be consistent to save her life. It's a real struggle. And I have tried the regular method of meal prep in the past many times, and initially it will definitely solve my short-term problems, but very quickly I would notice that I would get bored with the lack of variety and taste.
Oh God.
So it never felt like a long-term solution. I watched a documentary recently about gut health, and they were talking about the importance of eating more veggies to improve your microbiome. And they recommended getting at least 20 veggies in your diet a week. And this sparked a new inspiration in me to find a method that works best for me. I came across TikToks where professional chefs showed how they meal prep, and it was fascinating. It's so different to the usual meal prep method. For a start, they would ingredient prep as opposed to meal prep. I was intrigued and decided I'm gonna try this for myself.
Wow, it's all so good. I tried. I don't think I succeeded.
It's been a long journey of trying to find a method that works best for me. And the question is, will this be the answer?
Welcome to my fridge, which is looking rather chaotic right now, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of random stuff, and some of this stuff looks like it's gonna go off really soon. I have an avocado. I have some kombucha. I'm still very much getting used to the taste of kombucha, but it's good for me. It's good for my gut health. It's been a really chaotic week, and when it gets really busy, things like feeding myself consistent, healthy, balanced meals go straight out the window. I don't know if you could tell by my fridge, but I have really gone into gut health lately. Like I literally have kombucha, kefir. I don't like it. I really don't like it, but I have to have it. Oh, I really don't like that. And the frustrating thing is I buy a lot of this stuff, but I just don't eat it because life just gets in the way. I want to find a solution to this. I want to be able to get all these bunch of fruit and veggies in my diet, eat them on a consistent basis, but without all the stress of it all. Typically, when it comes to making meals, what I usually do is I will go to my fridge or go to my cupboards and just like decide there and then. And that's fine when I have lots of time and that's like a fun, creative, fun process. But when you're like busy, it becomes so overwhelming and so stressful. And I just don't think that works for me all the time. But obviously you have to eat all the time. I definitely have to come up with a different method. So I came across these TikToks where professional chefs show you how they meal prep, and how professional chefs meal prep is very different to the style of meal prep I've come across in the past. Basically, they don't meal prep, they ingredient prep. And for some reason that blew my mind, and I was like, why have I never thought of this before? But I am curious, I'm interested, and I feel like this could solve a lot of my problems.
So what I noticed was that professional chefs would focus more on ingredient prepping than meal prepping, and that would set them up way better for the week. They would prep a variety of vegetables, proteins, carbs. They won't cook the whole meal, but just enough to reduce the workload throughout the week. This is way better than the regular meal prep method because it means you can get a variety of meal options throughout the week. Food is cooked fresh so you don't get bored, and it reduces food waste and cuts down the time to cook the meals. This is great if you have a busy week and it's not sustainable to cook from scratch every day. This feels like a more flexible approach, but without compromising on taste and variety. Also, it means I might be able to hit my 20 vegetables target this week, improving my gut health. We love that for us.
So I thought today we can go outside, do a little exploring, be inspired, start thinking like a pro chef. Good luck.
So I took a trip to Whole Foods. I am terrible at meal planning. It's just not how my brain works. It's a skill that doesn't come naturally to me at all. So I've come here to feel inspired and take notes and tips on what options would work best for me. It was interesting to see how they seasoned and prepped their protein. There were so many different flavor varieties all ready to eat. And it was also interesting to see that there was a big market for prepped food. This whole store was basically meal prep.
I'm very overwhelmed, but inspired.
And it also came with a decent price tag.
This is £20. That is insane. £20.
Shake my head, it's actually £20 per kilogram, so this box is actually £4.36. Come on gal, read the small print.
Notes taken, now let's start planning.
That was a great Whole Foods trip. It was actually really helpful. I didn't realize that Whole Foods is basically a meal prep store. I don't think other supermarkets do that, at least not to that extent. Gave me a lot of ideas because it was kind of like, okay, I like that, I like that. So I've made a mental note, and now I'm gonna kind of like do the meal planning, because I realized if I go to the supermarket right now, I'll just buy a bunch of random stuff and I'll still struggle to put
the meals together. First of all, I really liked how they prepared fish. They basically seasoned it all and then put them in like freezer bags. On the day, you can just like get it out and cook it, and you don't have to do the mental load. We are trying to reduce the mental load. Salmon, my protein, I'll get chicken as well. I need to get 20 different vegetables. I'm thinking like, what could I turn that into? So I'm thinking like making some sort of like soup, maybe like a pasta soup. Another game changer actually I didn't realize is like boiling potatoes. I've never thought to just like boil a bunch of potatoes and just leave it, but actually that is so versatile. And then I'm thinking to make sauces. This is something I'm not very good at. So I have to try and make different types of sauces that I can also put into meals. I'm thinking the tomato-based sauce because it's got veggies in it, so we love that. This is very much baby steps. It's my first time doing this, so I don't want to like overwhelm myself. All of this is looking really good. I think I am ready to go to supermarket now.
Turns out shopping with a plan is a much calmer experience. Who knew? I cannot stress how nice it is to have already done all the mental load, so I could just pick up the items with ease. No thoughts, head empty, but still being productive. We love to see it. Having done my research, I felt like I was shopping with a purpose, and as a result was much more efficient with my approach. It was also exciting to think about how I will turn these items into meals. Much less stressful to my usual shopping trips.
It is now time to turn all of this into ingredient prep. I think I just broke something. Hopefully in front of me I have 20 different varieties of fruit and veg. I didn't count at the supermarket, but I am hoping I do. So I've got myself some salmon, got some quinoa, pasta, blueberries, spinach, carrots, lime, peppers, coconut milk, and I also have some stuff in the fridge and cupboards that I'm gonna hopefully turn into like sauces, because that's very important to ingredient prep this week. Let's do this. Time to ingredient prep. So I noticed that every line chef that I watched would use deli containers. So I myself have got myself some deli containers. I've got some sauce bottles, which is quite cool. So I can make different types of seasonings and sauces. And I've also got myself some deli containers. This is the smallest size. This is the medium one. And then this is the biggest one, which I can put like soups in, I suppose, and like pasta and rice. So I've got a bunch of these. Probably got too much, but I suppose if it's a week's worth of food, maybe this might be okay. And some of the stuff I can freeze, which will last longer. But the coolest thing about all of this is that the lids are the same size. That's so convenient. I cannot tell you the amount of times I have had to go to my containers cupboard, and I spend most of my time trying to find the right lid for the right container. And then I also picked up some freezer bags for the protein, and I've got myself some labels because I've noticed that they will always label each container with the thing that it is and the date that you made it. I think the main part of getting this right is the organization part. So this part is like vital. How you store it and label it is gonna make this whole process so much easier. Now I have to turn all of that into organized ingredient prep.
So this is the main bulk of the work. This is very much a case of do something today that future you will thank you for. The goal is to get all the different ingredients and prep them in a way that will stay fresh and ready for the week. First thing I noticed was the amount of variety of foods I had. It was actually really exciting to see it all laid out in different containers. As it was my first time, it did take me quite a few hours to get this done, but I'm thinking with more tries I'll become more efficient and it'll become almost like muscle memory, especially in terms of timings and knowing what to prep first and making the rice and the quinoa and then all the protein and all that later.
I want to make enough rice for this sized container.
I tried to make sure I was hitting all the food groups, got a huge variety of vegetables, some carbs and grain options, as well as protein. Knowing that I had all of this ready to go now meant that I can create balanced meals way more easily this week.
I have made way too much quinoa. I guess it's the whole week's worth. This is like the best quinoa I've made as well. This looks good. This is red quinoa. I think this is definitely enough for a week. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to figure out like what I could eat quinoa with. I guess I could make like a veggie salad thing because I have lots of vegetables now, and have it with some sort of dressing. I need to make more sauces.
I think having them in clear containers also meant that I could easily see them and therefore use them. I'm hoping this means I have less food waste this week.
It is time to season the salmon. I have 2 pieces here. And for this, I'm just gonna copy what I saw in Whole Foods. I have some coriander, lime, and then I think I'm gonna go in with some chili and garlic. And I'm gonna season that and put it in freezer bags. And these bags are dated and you can label them. So it's very, very handy. First things first is the lemon. Well, that is a lot of lemon. I'm also gonna put salt and ground black pepper on it. I had to be so careful with this. I don't always have the best control when it comes to this salt. Some black pepper. I never know if I'm supposed to season generously or lightly. We got some coriander, chili flakes, some garlic. Oh, that's a lot. So that is my seasoned salmon. Now to put it in a bag. Now I come into the chicken. I have lots of chicken thighs here. I have split them into 2 portions and I'm gonna season them different. And I've got this chicken seasoning, so I feel like I should probably use it to season my chicken. I'm gonna give a generous amount. This is where I just wing it, by the way. Some salt, might put some lemon in it, why not? This is starting to feel a bit like George's Marvelous Medicine. Maybe put some garlic granules in there. That is so much. Maybe I put some coriander, because we have it. That's one of the social experiments done. The next one, I'm just gonna put the peri-peri. Put lots, maybe the whole thing. Done it. Oh, maybe I should put some chili in this one. Salt. I do not know what I'm doing. That looks lovely. Oh no. Oh, I could have just put the chicken in the bag at the beginning and then put all the seasoning in and done it that way. And that is all the ingredient prep I'm gonna do today because I'm absolutely exhausted. I think I'll make all the sauces tomorrow. So far we've done really well. Now it's time to label everything. So this is the peri-peri chicken and it's a 2605. Nice.
This is a really important step for my organization this week.
Salmon. I feel like I'm doing signatures or something. So now we have the tubs. Broccoli. There we go, we got some broccoli.
And after hours of prepping, I finally have my ingredient prep for the week. And it turned out so good, guys. I am so happy with how it turned out. I've never organized my food in this way. It's already been like a very different food experience to me, but I'm excited to see what kind of impact this approach has.
So I've decided I'm gonna make some blueberry pancakes for breakfast today. I have not made blueberry pancakes before. That's probably a lot of blueberries in it. This is definitely my first time doing it. Quite excited, actually.
Unfortunately, I didn't really think about the batter consistency, so it turned out like this.
Oh no, I don't think the pancake batter is thick enough. Oh no. How do I make them thicker? Because now it just looks like it's a flat pancake with lots of blueberries on top.
Turns out ingredient prepping doesn't necessarily guarantee that you'll become a great cook overnight. So we're still working on that part.
This is not going to plan, guys. They didn't quite turn out as aesthetically as I had hoped. This is a disaster. And breakfast is served. Right, let's try. Oh no! I don't even think this counts as pancakes, you know? Wow, that's tangy. I tried. I don't think I succeeded this time.
First attempt didn't go to plan, but we have way more ingredients to experiment with.
I thought we could try to make different types of salad. I've got boiled potatoes, I've got boiled eggs, and I have pineapple chunk, which sounds quite random, but hear me out. I've got mayo, I've got some minced garlic. I've also got spring onions, coriander, some pesto, and some Caesar salad. I normally would never make salad, but I figured since I have all this, it's actually quite easy to just put it together, which is mind-blowing. It actually feels quite fun. It feels like I'm playing a game where I have all these different tubs and I gotta like mix them all together. My brain feels so much more creative. And it's quite nice, actually, to be this creative with food.
I mashed the eggs with some mayo and pepper.
I now have my egg mayo. Oh, that is really good, actually.
Then for the boiled potatoes, which I added mayo to, coriander, and pesto.
I put all the ingredients in for my potato salad.
And now for the pineapple. I was building my confidence and went very experimental with this one. I added garlic, coriander, crispy fried onions, and a little bit of chili, because apparently I can't stay away from the chili.
And this is what I've come up with for the pineapple salad. I will say, I am surprised with how much I'm enjoying this process. It's actually quite fun. Things like putting fried onions with pineapple is not something I would normally do. Wow. Wow, there's a lot of flavors in that. This took like minutes to make, yet it's so flavorful. That's so good. That's really good too. Wow, Everything tastes really good. Wow, it's all so good.
I defrosted some pizza from the freezer, and this was my lunch. This is not something I would usually have at all, but I am so happy with the outcome. Big turnaround for breakfast. I'm already noticing a huge change in my cooking behavior for the better.
Okay, it is dinner time. And I have a lot of things to work with, so this is exciting, this is fun. Okay, let's do this.
It was so much quicker, way more creative and fun. It didn't feel like a massive chore that I had to do. I think this style works better for my way of thinking. I didn't realize how much of the time spent on cooking was due to the prep. Once your prep is done, it literally takes minutes to cook meals. It almost feels like a game. It's like the fun part. I also noticed that it was so much easier to incorporate vegetables into my meals. I didn't even have to think about it, to be honest. And I was reducing food waste as they were no longer just going bad in the fridge. The ingredient prep was working, even when I was out and about. We had chosen to play tennis in the rain. The vibes are immaculate.
We have called it quits on tennis. It's been tragic. This weather is not tennis playing appropriate. I wanted to show you my little snack meal prep. Got some carrot sticks, haven't I? So we're just gonna, instead of playing tennis, eat this in the rain. Would you like a carrot stick? That's how I make all my moves to people. I just ask them, would you like a carrot stick? 100% effective. Oh my God, I'm falling. Go sport.
And the cool thing was, I was using very similar base ingredients, but creating very different meals every time. So whilst the ingredients were the same, there was a lot of variety in terms of flavors, which meant I didn't get bored throughout the week. And that's something I really struggled with the original style of meal prepping. It was also so much easier to create balanced meals without having to do any of the brain work. This is the most game-changing part, I think, for me. I was getting my protein, grains, vegetables, fats, all in one bowl. And this is not something I can achieve usually.
I would never have made anything close to this before, so we're doing good.
Not only was I enjoying the cooking because of how easy and creative I could be, it was also tasting good, which is, let's be honest, the most important part. There was so much more flavor and it was all cooked from fresh. Honestly, guys, I think the chefs know what they're doing.
One thing that's been really nice this week is that food was just like naturally incorporated into my everyday schedule. Obviously, I had to still cook meals, but because I did that at the beginning of the week, it meant throughout the week, I actually had meals ready to go. Or it didn't take a lot of time to make the meals. It's just taken all the workload out of eating and put it into easy mode. And now I'm thinking, why have I not done this sooner? Because it's like the most obvious thing in the world. It's like a life hack. I mean, I guess that's what this is, right? That's the whole point of this video, but feeding myself doesn't feel like such a chore now. I was really surprised with how creative I was with my food. Like, I was creating meals that I normally would never have made, and it didn't even require any extra brain work. Whereas before, if I wanted to eat something, I would have to write the list of ingredients, go out for that specific thing. So I wouldn't try because that was too much work. Whereas this week, I feel like I've eaten a lot of different variety of food and a lot more fruit and veg. I do think my gut is a lot happier with me this week. Happy gut, happy life. Literally, actually. Did you know that most of your serotonin comes from your gut? Which is kind of wild because I always thought serotonin was something like the chemicals in your brain. I really hope I do stick with this because honestly, the difference is insane. If you are someone like me who struggles with feeding themselves consistent, balanced meals, this is the life hack you need in your life. Do it. It's actually been really, really fun. And I never thought I'd say that when it comes to like the task of feeding myself every day. Let me know what you think of ingredient prepping, if you are gonna try it yourself, if you do it yourself, and how you find it. And also any tips and tricks, because I've only just started this. Also, maybe give me ideas on what different sauces and stuff I can use, because I feel like I'll probably run out of ideas very quickly there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you lots. Please no matter, and I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I think it's about time for me to go. Like I dive deep. Like I'm last week night with the flow here.